Hey guys, and thank you so much for tuning into my channel. My name is DeLady and we are back with another speed build video of Inama Zoo, our African wildlife safari ride park. I have no idea how to call it. Anyways, we are back with another episode and we're going to build a habitat for the Nyala, the Nile Monitor, and the Aardvark. And before people start commenting again about the Aardvark, I don't know why that is, but let's make it clear. The Aardvark can be found in the Kilimanjaro, so I think that's the second biggest mountain of Africa, or is it the biggest one? I'm not really sure, but anyways, it's a mountain. So yes, it does make sense to add the Aardvarks also on a mountain-ish area. So that's why we chose for the Nyala, the Nile Monitor, and the Aardvark. Obviously, the Nile Monitor is not really a mountain animal, but we have this beautiful river connected with waterfalls, so that's why we're also adding the Nile Monitor in this episode. And the Nile Monitor is actually only meant to be in the river section, but we have fish feeders right now, but the Nile Monitor does not have any animations yet for this fish feeder. So I'm really hoping that in the future, Frontier will be updating the Nile Monitor and the animations so we can have a fish feeder in this water section and we can basically close off this river section from the rest of the mountain. Because right now I had to add a blood pumpkin and like a meat plate for these animals to get fed. So that is something that hopefully will be changed in the future as soon, or at least before we finish off this zoo. I really hope so, so we can have the fish feeder in the water instead of like the blood pumpkin and the meat plate. But for now, you guys know why I decided to have all these animals in one habitat, even though it would sound maybe a little bit weird. I'm not really sure how strong the Nile Monitor is. I could see the Nile Monitor, like if this would be real life, killing the Aardvark, maybe even Nyalas, or maybe the baby Nyalas. So yeah, obviously that does not make that much sense to put them in one habitat in that case. But yeah, that's why. So once Frontier will update the fish feeders, I will definitely make sure that the Nile Monitor has its own little region in the water section. And as you maybe could tell in the beginning of the episode, I already put down a few of the jetty beddings. Now, actually, they're not really natural, but I really wanted to add them because that will also attract them a little bit more to the water section for the Nile Monitors. So I really wanted to make sure that they had something, and it may not be supernatural, but I think that's definitely going to work well, especially if we're going to close it all off in the future. Then they still have this little area where they can chill outside of the water. So yeah, in the beginning of this episode, I really had to make sure, of course, again, that we make sure that none of the animals will be escaping from their habitat. Like obviously we keep everything natural, so we only have fences that you can't really see, so those are fences where the gate for the keeper is. But other than that, there are no fences. We only are using no fences. So each and every habitat needs to have a natural boundary. And especially with the Jeep Safari going through it, it's quite a challenge to get everything right. And also with like babies that will happen in the future, I decided to give all these animals in this habitat contraceptives because especially with the Nile Monitor, those babies are just so tiny. I am afraid that they will be able to escape, and the same goes for the Nyala babies. I think the Nyala babies are probably as small as, for example, for a pronghorn antelope or those kind of animals, and like imagine the warthog babies, they are also able to escape, so I don't want any escaping animals anymore. So yeah, I gave all these animals contraceptives just to be sure that they're not able to get any babies and we're getting issues again, and it's taken me tons of time to fix everything again. So yeah, everything does work still, so I'm really happy with that. So the Okapi, which is on the other side of the mountain, and the African wild dog on the other side of this habitat, they're not able to go into this habitat. So that is all working properly and fine, so I'm really happy with that. So obviously you have to make sure that you draw out, well, at least that is how I work. I always try to draw out where I want the trees to be. So I really go into the guest point of view, and then I will put down some trees and I will mix them a little bit. These are the same trees we use for the Okapi habitat. And I really try to put them down to my liking, and I really pay attention to how I rotate them and those kind of things. I really want to make sure that the branches and everything looks just perfect. And then after that, when putting down the trees, then it's time to start doing the shrubs. And of course, the beautiful flowers. I think the tree is called the tamarind tree. And that one I use to sink down, like the smallest one, I sink that one down for the beautiful orange flowers because I really just love the color variation of it. It really blends in super well in like a lot of different biomes actually. So yeah, that's why I did use the tamarind tree to give it a little bit more color and variation. And also I did hide away a water pump at the, call it backstage area, the area you will not be seeing. I wanted to make sure that there is already a water pump, especially when we're going to close off the Nile Monitor, because then they will not be able to drink from the river section anymore. So yeah, I already wanted to make sure that there is a water pump on the other side to make sure that at least the Aardvark and the Nyala are able to drink on that side as well. But you won't really see that from when you're riding in the Jeep Safari, obviously. And even though, like I said, like I'm using the same trees of the Okapi habitat, you can really tell this whole area is so much more different than the Okapi area. The Okapi area is, I think, a little bit more dense, a little bit more tropical, and especially also made for the Okapi to be able to hide away a little bit more because the Okapi is way more shy. But this one I kept more open and a little bit more bright, so there is more sunlight coming through all the trees and stuff, and I really do like that different variation in these habitats, even though you're still using the same type of trees and shrubs, obviously. And obviously at the end, I could not help myself to use the aquatic rocks. I just really like them, as you may know, and they really fit well in kind of every biome. I did had a little bit of issues with trying to find the right color. I think it's still not really fitting the Savannah color. It's a little bit more yellow, brighter-ish. But in the end, I don't really am bothered by it too much. So yeah, I tried to fit the color as best as I could. But yeah, it's sometimes a little bit hard. Like, it's not like you can create a screenshot from your screen and add it into Photoshop and then try to find the color. I tried to do that with the brown color of the otter habitat we did in City Zoo, but it wasn't that easy as it may seem. So yeah, it's still trying to find and really trying to look at the images like, okay, is this fitting or not? So yeah, that's kind of a challenge still. But nonetheless, I really do love the rocks, as you may know. So it really gives that little extra detailing touch of this whole area, which I absolutely love. Now, as you can tell, this video is a lot shorter. This area is just a lot smaller than the other areas, and it was a lot easier to finish off this little area. But I do still hope that you guys like the end result of this Nyala Nile Monitor and Aardvark habitat. Do let me know in the comment section down below, of course. And in the next Inama Zoo episode, we're going to start building on the other half of the zoo. So this is going to be for probably the gorillas, maybe mandrills or chimpanzees, or the flamingos. I have an idea for the West African lion. So we still have a lot of African animals that we can build a habitat for in Inama Zoo. So I'm really excited for that. There is still one area that does not have any decoration on this half of the zoo, which is basically if you would go and walk in on the path on the right side, right away when you come in, where the ostrich is and the warthog and the zebras and those kind of animals. That one I will try to do at the end probably of this series. I think that is going to be the same with the flamingos. They will probably be on the left side, so right on the opposite side of like the zebras and the ostrich and those kind of animals. So yeah, I think those two will be the last things we're going to do. So we're gonna have a really beautiful natural area also when the guests come in to look into. So that's going to be challenging, but I'm definitely looking forward to starting on the other side of this zoo. So yeah, do let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of this new Inama Zoo episode. Leave a like at the video if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe of course if you want to see more of Inama Zoo or any of my other Planet Zoo series. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I really hope to see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys!